Hi, my name is Dave Ledcabbage, and welcome to my video review for Urban Trial Playground on Nintendo Switch. This is the first video review I have ever done, so please take it easy on me. Or don't, I don't really care. But anyway, enjoy. Urban Trial Playground is the third entry in the Urban Trial series. It's a side-scrolling physics-based motorbike platformer all about maintaining control of your bike, defying gravity, performing stunts, and landing safely. Sounds a lot like Red Link's Trial series, huh? That's because it is. Urban Trial Playground doesn't obscure its obvious inspiration, but it does attempt to differentiate itself in small ways. The result is lesser in nearly every respect, mostly due to a lack of fine-tuning and a few confounding omissions. Yet it does retain enough appeal to offer its fair share of thrills. Whether you're racing against the clock to the level's end, or pulling off tricks to meet a high score requisite, single player is all about earning stars to unlock and advance through the 54 levels. The environments, though they do repeat, are varied in design and packed with obstacles to overcome and utilize for stunts. But simply making it from start to finish without crashing isn't much of a hurdle. The real test is taking risks and going for big points by linking combos, as well as fighting for high scores on the leaderboard should you desire. Optional challenges, such as performing X number of backflips or catching a few seconds of airtime, are where you'll find the difficulty can sharply rise. Some of these challenges are practically effortless, while others require skill, determination, and even some luck, and they leave little to no room for error. If you're into this sort of thing, this is what will keep you playing well after you've 5-starred each level. Accomplishing these tasks, as well as hunting down poker chips in each level, allows you to earn currency to upgrade your bike and obtain new attire for your rider. This aspect of the game is fairly shallow, offering just a few engine, tire, and brake upgrades before you max out your bike's stats. When it comes to riders, you're either a boy named Tommy or a girl named Riley, with a limited number of clothing options to unlock, all of the hipster meets beach bum style. You don't feel much creative ownership over your character or bike given the dearth of options. But to most, this aspect of the game won't matter much anyway. Personally, I couldn't care less. Speaking of Tommy and Riley, the game is clearly desperately trying to get down with the hipness. And after playing for around 8 hours, I'm uncertain if this is a genuine attempt to appear cool or a poor attempt at satire. The dude bro attitude and one-liners, such as keep it rockin', skills on wheels, and the occasional utterance of brah, will earn a cringe here and there, and deservedly so. Plus, levels with the names like Sup Dog, Homie Side, and Off da Roof increase the cringe factor without the faintest semblance of a smile. Fortunately, the vibrant California setting with its sun-coated beaches, putt-putt golf courses, playgrounds, resorts, suburbs, and trendy commercial districts adds a degree of perkiness and vitality to the presentation not found in its predecessors. The graphics aren't great. Textures pop in jarringly as the levels load, resolution can be fuzzy, and the 30 FPS or less frame rate does the game no favors. But there's a density to the outdoor settings that can be appreciated, though it undoubtedly comes at the cost of performance. The negative impact isn't quite weighty enough to lead to catastrophic wipeouts. It's either something you're willing to put up with and overlook, or something you'll find slightly too annoying. Compared to Trials, the physics are more forgiving, and the bike handling is tamer and more manageable, ultimately making gameplay more welcoming, yet not as deep. For the most part, it's fine and enjoyable, but don't be surprised when your bike isn't as agile and snappy when it comes to tricks, which, unlike Trials, are a major focus of the game. The biggest fumble for me is managing the pitch of the bike leading into a jump. The former requires holding back or forward on the left analog stick, while the latter you hold down on the stick and flick up. I'm sure it's obvious why the combination of these inputs would lead to inaccuracies and clumsiness. The slightly askew camera angle can also unfavorably factor into finding that sweet spot when jumping and launching yourself from a ramp. Thankfully, the L and R buttons can also be used to duck and jump, and it's a more reliable option, albeit also not a perfectly consistent one. Considering the toughest challenges leave no breathing room and the scoring system seems to occasionally have a mind of its own, not always counting your tricks toward a challenge, and even ending a combo when you swear your wheelie never touched the ground, this can lead to frustration. It's another fault that's not prevalent enough to be a huge issue, though when you consider all the faults, they do add up and amount to something of a burden. And speaking of faults, here's a seemingly insignificant yet annoying one. There's no button that immediately places you back at the beginning of the level. You can restart at the last checkpoint with all prior mistakes held against you, timer still running, but to restart a level, you have to pause the game, go to restart, and wait for the level to load all over again. What's more, there's no level select option from the pause or results screen. You must instead go all the way out to the main menu. These are utterly baffling, irksome oversights that waste time when working through single player. When it comes to multiplayer, local split screen allows 2 players to go up against each other. And it's a nice addition to the package, even if there are only 2 modes, race and tag, and neither employs the stunt or scoring system. My wife and I spent a couple hours racing each other to the finish line, but that was about all we needed before moving on. So basically, this is the kind of multiplayer mode that you might spend a drunken weekend playing with a roommate. I wouldn't count on much more than that. Oh, and the frame rate buckles hard in a few levels. When it happens, it's rough. Oddly enough, even though I've been highly critical of Urban Trial Playground, I've had fun with it despite the numerous shortcomings mentioned in this review, and so has my wife. If you already have the Trials series in your life, there's not much reason to mess with this. It's quite frankly not in the same league. However, if you don't have that basis for comparison and aren't turned off by what I've said, this is a game worth considering when there's a lull in the Switch's release schedule. Maybe just wait for a sale before taking that chance. I'd say $10 to $15 is the sweet spot. I have no doubt some people will have a blast tearing up the California coast. It's just a shame that the game wasn't better tuned for Switch. Thank you so much for watching my video review of Urban Trial Playground for the Nintendo Switch. If you have any questions, comments, or whatnot, you know where to leave them, right down there. Or you can hit me up on Twitter, @Holchasaur. Again, thank you, and hopefully I'll hear from you guys very soon. In the comments or something. No? I'll wait. Soon could be now. Could leave. It's an invisible watch. Really expensive. I'm done waiting.